Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have a PS4 Pro, and the exact model for this one is a PS4 Pro CUH-7215B model. That information can be found right at the back of the console, right where it says PlayStation right in there, and you look down right under that, it tells you the exact model for this one. Right, but there's a few other models. I made another video on a different model that the power jack is like a little bigger. Those are different models. This exact model is a CUH-7215B. And I'm going to take you on a step-by-step how to open it up properly and how you can repaste clean the fan system in here. And before we start, I'm going to go over the tools that I'll be using. Tool number one, a good screwdriver. I purchased for myself iFix screwdriver set, as they have the best tools and bits out there. If you get the Pro set, they will give you opening tool, tweezers, stuff like that. If not, grab yourself a plastic spatula, tweezers, straight or curved tweezers. You need a used or new toothbrush, 1 sheet of the workshop towel or 2 sheet of the workshop towel. And the reason I always say use workshop towel, it's because for the next one that we're going to be using alcohol, 99% or 98% isopropylic alcohol, because as soon as you put the alcohol on the towel and you want to clean the motherboard, this will rip apart, but it will not damage the board. So that's why use this workshop towel. Don't use any microfiber towel. Right. For the thermal paste, I'll be using Arctic MX4. You can go with Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut if you have the budget, but in this case, we're going to go with MX4. You can go with MX6. It's still cheaper than the Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut. Right. With this one hand, we're gonna start. If I miss anything, I'll let you guys know. All the tools that I use is in the video description in case you want to purchase for yourself. All right. First thing first, we're gonna flip it on the back side of the console. You wanna grab your tweezers. You wanna lift up this right by the USB in here. You wanna lift up this label, and it's gonna mark as an void or the Xbox logo. The PlayStation logo is gonna show. So you wanna trash that. That's the warranty label. So we're going to remove this screw right there. But before we remove that, let's go ahead and remove the cover for the hard drive. All you want to do, you want to just grab it and just pull it from this side up. That's the hard drive. So we're going to remove this screw. This is a torque number 9, I believe. Or number 10, let me check. Number 9. Always go with your first cut. Number 9 it was. So is that torque secure torque? That means there's a tiny hole right inside the torque. So we're going to remove this screw right there. And we're going to remove Phillips screw, the hard drive. So we're going to put this one down and we're going to switch it to Phillips number 1. And we are going to remove this screw right there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to remove the hard drive by pulling it towards yourself. And the hard drive will come out. You can just take it out, use a toothbrush to clean it. All right, with these two removed, what we're going to do, we're going to bring it in this position facing us, top side. You want to put your fingers right on any of these narrow gaps right in there, and with your thumb, you want to push right in the corner where the PS4 logo is. And you want to pop it out. Right there. You want to hit big, huge click. That's fine. You want to do the same thing in here. It's kind of hard. If it's really tough, grab a. Let's see if this one doesn't break. I can put this one in there. That one will break. So they do get really tough. So let me try again. I'm trying to do it in front of the camera. There we go. So push this side. So pretty much what I'm doing, I'm pushing these two front end upward. And then lift it up, push it towards the back. And there's the top cover. Take it outside, use a toothbrush and clean it up. And here we have the fan, the DVD drive, and the power unit. We're gonna remove the screws with a torque number 9. The screws right on the power unit. There are 4 of them. On a metal sheet, grab the sheet, put it to one side, and put beside them. These are the short ones and 2 long screws. Once you remove these ones, now what you want to do, you want to, the same way that you did the front, we're going to do the back. Put your finger there and snap it out, and then snap it out of dust. And what you want to do, you want to lift it up and push it towards the front, slide it towards the front. Holy, yeah, it is kind of dirty. And they do have a cockroach right on top here. So cockroaches are not good on consoles, as do they do create shorting on the board and can damage the board. So that's a bad thing. So let's put this one under, I will say. Okay. It goes like this. I'll put it back in, so I don't want to put all these cockroaches right on my face. So down here, we're gonna lift up the power unit. No, but we do need to remove the screws in there. So I'm gonna take it outside quickly and shake off this. Let me pull it out. Shake up all these cockroaches, everything, and I'm just gonna use a air blower, like a compressed air. But before you blow any air, just make sure you disconnect the fan. You don't want to blow on the fan while it's connected. So always disconnect the fan, take it outside and remove the excess of the dust in here. And I'll be back in a second. All right, I took it outside and I cleaned up the extra dust that it has, all the cockroaches, and they're blown away. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna start removing parts from here. So we remove the screws for the power unit. We are going to flip it over and we are going to start disconnecting it. First, we're going to disconnect the Wi-Fi cables, pull them upward gently. Don't yank them sideways like that. All right, and we're going to untangle the cables. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to remove all the screws. Remember, there's a Phillips screws and there's a Torque screws. So I believe that the Torque screws touch the plastic, the Phillips one touch metal to metal. So we're gonna remove all the screws on top here, and we're gonna put them in a different pile. You can take a picture of where the screws go, so you don't, so you remember. You can mark them with a magic marker or permanent marker. So I'm gonna start from one corner and start removing all the screws. First, I'll be removing the Torque screws, and then the Phillips screws. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking that like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and supports me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. I appreciate that. One of the screws just fell down there, so we're gonna pull that out. All right, now that we remove all the screws, we're gonna lift up this, untangle this black cable, a Wi-Fi antenna from here. Remove the top plate gently, and there we have it. They have a little thermal pads on the VRAMs. These are 2mm thermal pads. Grab a 2mm thermal pads, put it in here if you want to change them, but in this case we're not changing them, they're still good. All right, let me see if that screw that fell down there, I can bring it up. Oh, there we go, it did came out. I'm not gonna replace the thermal pads, anything like that. So right now we're gonna remove the motherboard, but first we need to remove the bracket right on the CPU and GPU. So we're gonna remove these two screws. Put the screws in one side. This bracket comes in straight up. All right. Now we're gonna disconnect these flex cables in here. These are really fragile, like you have to be careful with them. This one, it slides backward, just gently slide it that way, don't yank it off. These ones too, just slide them backward. This one is sliding, this one is slides, this one is slides, this one doesn't slide. This one, first you have to open the lock 90 degree upward, and then you want to slide it out. Once you've done all this, you want to grab the board from here. If you lift it up, it's really tough. You want to heat it up with a heat dryer. about 30 seconds maximum heat, max heat on a hair dryer over here for 31 minutes, and it's gonna blend it all thermal paste, and then you can just lift it up, bring it upward. Well, it's not coming up because right in here there are two holes that goes right to the CPU. I mean to the power unit. So you're gonna leave it like that, flip it upside down like this. Now we're gonna lift up this power unit upward. Straight, grab it from the sides here. I can't reach in here, so I'm gonna put this one right there. And you wanna bring it evenly upward. Move it to one side. There's a cable that connects to the board. Pull this 5-volt cable upward. This jack right in here goes straight right through there. So that was holding it, and this 5-volt cable. Take it outside, blow some air through the power unit. And now we're gonna hold it. I'm holding this thing while I'm flipping, putting my hand over on the other side. Now we're gonna lift up the board, bring it up, slide it out. And there's more cockroaches in here. Right there, there's a little bit of cockroach right there. So there's the motherboard, thermal paste. It is not touching all the CPU. All right, so you can take it outside, use a toothbrush to clean the rest of the dust in here, over here, and even on the USB ports, you can clean them out. Again, the thermal pads in here, these are 1mm thermal pads. You can put a 2mm thermal pads. I recommend put a 2mm thermal pads in here. Now to get to the other side, we need to remove the heat plate right over here. Lift this one up. So we're gonna remove few screws. Remove the screw right over the plate in there, right there. 2 screws, and bring it up. There's the money shot right there. Look at that. And how do you expect it to cool down when there is this whole big, huge plug of carpet right on it? It's just a carpet. So I'm gonna take it outside, use a toothbrush, just lift up this gunk right there and clean it out. I'll put that to one side. We can remove the fan, but we already removed 2 screws from the top side. We removed 2 more screws on this side. You can lift up the fan, bring it out, take it outside, use a toothbrush to clean it, and clean the housing, and clean up the other side. So I'll be back in a second. All right, I took it outside and I cleaned up the heatsink. Look at the difference now. Nice and clean. The air can go through and ready to put it back together. Now we're gonna repaste and clean it. So first thing first, you're gonna put the fan in its place. The fan is decolorated a little bit here. You can clean it, but doesn't matter. As long as you clean a little bit, that's fine. You don't need to polish it. Put the 2 screws on the fan. Grab the housing. Move the cables out of the way. This cable goes over like this. Put it down. Bring this flex cable out of the underneath, upward. Now what we need to do is to grab a little bit of workshop towel, alcohol, apply alcohol right on top, and wipe. There we have. Change the thermal pads in case yours is really dirty or dried up. In this case, they're fine. Grab the motherboard, apply alcohol right on top a little bit. Use a new little bit of workshop towel. As long as you clean the crystal die on top, you're fine. You don't need to go ahead and clean around it. This is what I'm saying. When you clean up, this one rips apart, but it will not damage the capacitors around the CPU. Do a dry pass. Grab your thermal paste. Drop one nice big line right over the die. Now what you want to do, you want to bring it down. You want to put the HDMI port side down in here in front and bring it down. Move this Wi-Fi cables out of the way. Set it down. Make sure it goes right through this. Plastic has to go through here. These cables come from underneath upward. Grab this bracket, sit the bracket right in there. Now, this flex one, I like to bend this one a little more to give a little more tension to pull the board, the heatsink nicely towards itself. Put the screw, do a few turns on the screw manually or with a screwdriver. Now, to just hold it, and now you want to push down with your thumb and then just tighten up the screw on this side and then go back and tighten up the other one. Grab the fan. Everybody always forgets to put the fan and they have to reopen. Grab the fan, push the fan connector right in there. I don't know if it's upside down, inside out. So yeah, you have to flip it. It only goes in one way, so don't force it. You have to go in softly and push it in all the way in. Grab these flex cables. We're going to slide in the flex cable. This one, grab it gently, align in front of the jack, and then push it, slide it in. It has to go in softly, do not force. There we go. Should be gentle with this one, please. First, align it nicely. It shouldn't have any force. A little bit of tiny push. Goes in. Put it inside. Hold it, and then with your thumb, just lock the jack. Grab the metal bracket on top. Alright. Put the metal bracket right over. I'll put this Wi-Fi antennas and controller antennas. Snap it right on top. Run this along these gaps. Run this one through here. Put it there. Now first we're gonna put the metal screws. These are the Phillips. You can see metal through metal. These are the tiny screws, so it's easy to know which one goes where. So go ahead and start putting all these tiny screws over. There's like 500 of them. Forgot to put the 2 screws on the fan, on the bracket after putting the bottom plate. So I'm gonna open it up and put this one. So before you move here, that's why I'm always watch the video before. You want to put these 2 screws on the fan after putting the first metal cover on top. But if you do forget them, it's not a big deal. Just put it on site for the next service time that you're gonna open it in 8-9 months. You can just put this one where it belongs. Nothing will happen if you forget them. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna wobble or it's not gonna go anywhere. It stays there. So I forgot to put it. I will open it up and put it back again. All right, now that we put all the screws in there, the Phillips one, we're gonna switch to a torque number 9. We're gonna only put 1 or 2 screws. 1 screw right over here, and 1 screw right by the DVD drive. So it keeps the whole thing in place, and we're gonna flip it over. You see this one here is bent, so you wanna bend it straight. Make sure it's facing straight, both of them. You wanna grab the power unit that you cleaned. You wanna bring it like this, and first connect this jack right in there. It goes in one way only, all the way in, and gently bring it over and push it down. Make sure it goes in its place, and put the 2 short screws. The longest screws you don't want to put it at the end. We're gonna put it. You're gonna grab it from the bottom casing. So only put the 2 short ones. And I forgot to clean the top part, so I'm gonna clean up this top part. So we're gonna flip it over. Now we're gonna put the rest of the screws right over here. So I have one more screw that it goes right in there. There we go. Now once we're done with the bottom tray here, we're gonna put the tray for the bottom. That would be, this is the bottom or the top? This is the bottom. So you're gonna grab the bottom. You're gonna bring it, slide it from the back. Which way is the back? This is from the front towards the back. You wanna just pinch it. And it should go to its, no, this is the top one. It has the Sony logo. So I grabbed the wrong one. The bottom one has this tray here. So you want to slide in the front end towards the back. And then push the back down. Make sure you hear those nice big click sounds. Then flip it over. Grab this metal sheet. Just a heat spreader. Put the 2 screws. And these 2 screws grab the bottom cover. There we go. And to finish this top cover, first find the front end. It's right here. You want to scoop it from the back. From the back towards the front. And then push the corners really hard on a flat surface and it will go to its place. To finish it up back here, it's to put one of the torque screws in the back corner, in the back mid, I mean. Right there. Grab the hard drive. Slide it right through there. And that one is a Phillips. So grab your Phillips screw right there and put the screw right over there. Grab the power. Slide. It goes in sliding in there and it stays right there. And that's it. It's upside down. And this is how you service and clean your PS4 Pro console. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them. I hope you guys like this video and helped you guys out to your own servicing. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in my next video.